The things left unsaid. I met Anne one rainy afternoon in June, just as the season's first storm hit Saigon, sudden and indifferent, much like her. It all began when we shared a cramped table at a tiny cafe on Nguyen Thai Binh Street. I was adjusting my presentation when she walked in, soaked from the rain, her hair dripping, her face bare, but her eyes held something I couldn't look away from. Anne didn't talk much. She rarely smiled, but every word she spoke felt carefully chosen. We didn't become close right away, just bumped into each other a few more times, but it was enough. I started looking forward to those coincidences. I, almost 30, thinking I had myself all figured out, suddenly felt adrift in front of a woman who seemed to carry the weight of all unfinished things. Then we fell in love. Quietly, no photos online, no grand declarations, no promises. In that relationship, I was the one giving more. Anne would often disappear for days, sometimes in the middle of a conversation, without a word. At first, I got angry. Then I got used to it. I told myself, that's just the way she is. I loved Anne with patience. She loved me with hesitation. Once, I asked her, have you ever been in love? She stared out the window, her voice as soft as water. Yes, but he didn't choose me. I didn't ask further, but from that moment, I realized I was only a substitute for someone who never left her heart. After almost a year together, things began to crack. Or maybe it was me finally noticing the cracks. We argued not loudly, but painfully. Anne saw me less. She blamed work, or exhaustion, or nothing at all. Once, I asked her directly, do you still love me? She didn't answer right away. She looked at me with an unreadable expression and said, sometimes it's not about not loving, it's just that we can't love any further. I went home that night, full of questions that had no answers. Later, drunk after a night out with friends, I sent her a long, messy text. I told her I was tired. I asked her to be honest if she didn't need me anymore. Just say it. She never replied. A week later, I found out Anne had gone to Darlot with her ex, the one who had just divorced. I didn't cry, but the ache was sharp. It wasn't just that she went back to Hemet, was realizing I never truly had her in the first place. I called. She didn't answer. I texted her, thank you for teaching me how it feels to love someone who can't love you back. And from that moment, I disappeared from her life. A year passed. I was with someone new. Everything felt simple, stable, safe the way love should be, or so I thought. No drama, no guesswork. But sometimes, late at night, I still thought of Anne, not because I missed her, but because of all the things left unsaid, all the things we never got to understand or fix. I ran into her again at an art exhibit. She hadn't changed, still composed, quiet, with that same unreadable calm. We talked a little, polite, distant, just two people who once knew each other well. As I was about to leave, she asked, did you ever hate me? I paused, one beat, two, then I shook my head. No, I just felt sorry. She nodded, like she too felt sorry. But I knew her sorrow was different, and neither of us wanted to go back and try again. That June, Anne taught me something important, that love alone isn't always enough to make someone stay. And sometimes, the person who hurts you most is the one you once loved the deepest. I don't blame her. I don't regret it either. I just mourn a love that never got to finish. And perhaps it's that very incompleteness that helped me grow, taught me how to love someone without losing myself in the process.